We go to our primetime news follow-up now. A debate is brewing over whether the 2-year suspension handed down to attorney-at-law Isat Buchanan by the General Legal Counsel's disciplinary panel is excessive. Mr. Buchanan pleaded guilty last month to breaching ethics rules after making disparaging remarks against the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn. Now, in addition to the suspension, he was fined $500,000. Now, to put things all in perspective, we're joined by our legal correspondent, Dionne Jackson Miller. Dionne, thank you for joining us. Lots of talk about this since it came to light yesterday. Do you, first of all, agree with this 2-year suspension?
Let me just say quickly, first of all, for full disclosure, in a previous matter that Mr. Buchanan had before the General Legal Counsel, I gave an affidavit in his support because I have difficulties with the sub judice rule. So let me just get that out of the way. Having said that, no, I don't agree with what has happened here. And let's be very clear, Mr. Buchanan's comments were offensive, they were disgusting, they were vile, all the adjectives you can think of. But what we have to look at is whether or not the sentence that has been imposed here, the 2-year suspension, is warranted given what he did. And I absolutely don't think it was. I think it's excessively harsh and disproportionate.
What issues are you having specifically?
Okay, so there are two things I would point to. So let's first look at the particular canons of ethics, and those are the rules that govern the legal profession that he has admitted to breaching. The first one that says an attorney shall maintain, and we can bring up the slide, we have it up, the honor and dignity of the profession, shall abstain from behavior which may tend to discredit the profession. The other canon he's accused of breaching is that an attorney shall act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and efficiency of the legal system and the legal profession. And a lot was made of this idea that by making these disgusting comments, Mr. Buchanan brought the legal profession into disrepute and undermine confidence in the justice system. Quite frankly, I think that's ridiculous. I think Mr. Buchanan's comments brought him into disrepute. I do not think that people listened to those comments and then said, you know, I think less of the entire legal system and the justice system as a result of that. Interestingly, one of the things the tribunal said is that they didn't need to hear evidence from members of the public because they said that the issue of what undermines public confidence is an issue for the tribunal or the court. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I was looking at some of the other rulings from the tribunal. One in particular that was heard earlier this year involved an attorney who made some very serious allegations against another senior attorney, suggesting collusion with the court officials to have a particular judge assigned to a matter to rule in that judge's favor, that attorney's favor. She was found guilty of professional misconduct. She didn't apologize. She didn't resile from what she had said. She was suspended for 1 year. So I think there's an issue of proportionality here. I think, as I said, the sentence is way too harsh for what it is he did and admitted to doing. He also threw himself on the mercy of the tribunal. There was no trial. He admitted he asked for leniency.
And I just want to squeeze this one in. Do you think that there should be changes in terms of how the legal profession is regulated?
I think the legal profession is over-regulated. I think that's something we tend to do in this country. We need to remember that there are other consequences. So, for instance, he said he had to resign as chairman of the PNP's legal commission, resigned as teacher a lecturer at the university where he taught. There are serious social and professional consequences that don't always line up with the kind of regulation where we're barring somebody from practice. And if we think it's okay to bar somebody from practicing, from earning for 2 years based on something they said, however nasty, that did not damage the person they were speaking of, either professionally, reputationally, or financially, I think it's something we really need to have a serious look at and to review how we interpret and how we enforce these laws.
Thank you so much, our legal correspondent, Dionne Jackson Miller. We'll leave it there. We'll be right back.